All right, everybody, welcome back to the Big Blue Dynasty Series here on Madden 25. We are heading to the 2026 season now. And yeah, it's the 2025 off season, so 2026 season. And New York Football Giants have won their first Super Bowl of this decade. It took a long time. We had a tough first season. Wasn't fun at all. We knew we had to let go of Daniel Jones. We made that decision. Ended up drafting Shedeur Sanders, who I'm super pumped to have on this team. And we ended the season 14-3, went through the playoffs, and won the Super Bowl. A lot of stat lines are showing up here that really let you know that this team has some good pieces on their roster here, and I know we are set up for the future. On the back end, I went ahead and updated my draft board. I went ahead and looked at some of the potential free agents that are going to be out there. And our goal here is to really upgrade in a lot of positions here. It's not about restarting and rebuilding. It's about reloading. And this team here has some pieces that I'm okay with, but I want to upgrade some things. There's some thoughts of maybe moving Illuminor to right guard and allowing that to work out. The reason for it, Reduce has been hurt consistently. And the way I look at it is I'd rather get another veteran here in the free agency or allow maybe someone like Braden Daniels to start there and move Illuminor in, because I need to know if I can rely on Reduce. We're going to deal with the preseason to determine that. The tight end group, I'd like to keep them all together. Just depends on how much it's going to cost me to do that. The wide receiver crew, I think everybody on here has done what they needed to do. I think Jalen Hyatt, though, there's an opportunity where we may trade him in this offseason to give him a chance to start somewhere else and maybe be that superstar that he probably could be. When it comes to the running back group, Devin Singletary's played great, but I'm trying to figure out when is it time for me to flip this team over and allow Charbonnet and Tracy to be the dogs in the backfield here for Shedeur Sanders. Hendon Hooker played amazing when Shedeur Sanders was hurt, and I'm very grateful that I believe we have him now for one more year. So the goal is keep Hendon Hooker as a backup for a very long time, because I think he could do some really great things for us. It was nice to see an uprising here in Torrey Horton. Drafting him a little early was the projection, but man, oh man, does he step up right when we need him. We saw Jimmy Horn, who was an undrafted free agent. There's an opportunity to re-sign him and see how he works out. You got a guy here in Bryce Ford Wheaton who has taken a little bit of a back seat this season, but we have him for a couple of years now, so I think with how we have it set up, we got a good tandem right now in this group. I'd like to bring in maybe some veterans to kind of round out that crew, but we got Malik Neighbors, we got Torrey Horton, and Rashid Shaheed, by the way. That's another thing too, is that when you look at some of these guys here, Rashid Shaheed, I believe, is out there now. Let's see. So we do have Rashid Shaheed out there. Let me look at this. Why doesn't the system let you just do it? Do we not have that anymore? Or is it broken because of the auto order? You can't take off or whatever. So Rashid Shaheed is available, as you can see. And the goal here is to have this combination of Torrey Horton, Rashid Shaheed, and Malik Neighbors for the long haul there. I believe in this team. I think we got the right crew to really step up. And you know, you still got Wan'Dale Robinson out there too. So, you know, do we keep all these pieces together? I think we signed him for a 2-year deal. So we do got the slot guys to really do work there. On the defensive end side, we have Logan Hall, who we'd like to re-sign. We did draft Jared Ivey, and I believe we have Joseph Asai for a little bit too. So we're going to have to figure out how to keep all these pieces together. I think Elijah Chapman's done well. And I really like how this defensive line is working together. The defensive tackle spot is definitely a need. Outside of Dexter Lawrence, Siaki Ika has been there, but he's just kind of a fill-in, and I need to figure out how to get that right. Kayvon Thibodeau's played well, and Michael Hoyt, coming over from the Rams, has been a nice piece. Nolan Smith was cut by the Eagles, surprisingly, in the last offseason. So bringing him in, can we sign him for another deal and allow him to succeed here? I think the middle linebacker position's in a good spot with Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden doing the thing, and Muasau right behind him, man. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Brian Burns is doing his thing. David Ojabo, we were playing around too much, and he is walking. We traded for him, and he is walking. So maybe we can grab him in the offseason. I'm not quite sure, but we got some pieces there. And it might be okay knowing that our draft pick from the last draft in Nick Jackson will now be back and ready to go. So maybe it's okay if we don't sign Nolan Smith and David Ojabo and keep Nick Jackson and let him kind of strive out there. I think the combination of Eric Stokes and Deonte Banks have done well, but we got to figure out where do these other pieces roll out. Karan Pruti, I thought, has done a really good job. I think Trey Hawkins, we could bring him back for a cheap deal if he's available. DJ James, I think, has done very well for us too, but our slot is set. Andrew Phillips is a dog, and he's doing whatever he needs to do there. In the free safety role, Andrew Makuba has definitely stepped up to be something special for us, but Jason Pinnock is there, and I think how slow Pinnock has been playing, I wouldn't be too upset to move on from him. In the strong safety role, Dane Belton is there. If he's willing to come back for a cheap deal, I'm cool with that, but Tyler Nubin runs the strong safety position. Graham Gano has retired, so we do got Harrison Mevis, who we did have on the practice squad, and he's not a bad kicker. I did look at drafting some kickers, so maybe we have a little competition there. 7th round pick versus Harrison Mevis, and kind of see who stands. But the dude's got a leg, very young. I think we're cool with that. And Matt Ariza has done very good for us on the punt team, man. He's flipped the field for us quite a bit, and I'm really proud that he's on our team here. So we're going to start out first. We got $41.8 million in salary cap. Now, the goal here is to try to see how we're going to be able to spend it, right? I'd like to see if Deonte Banks is willing to come back. Well, he is. We're going to accept his 5th-year option. We got Jimmy Horn that's out there right now, and he's asking for $10 million total, which is about $5 million a year, and that is not bad at all. I'm cool with that. I think Jimmy Horn connection with Shadur Sanders works out. He knows them. They play well. And I think that's a good deal for us there. So we got about $37 million. Nolan Smith does not want to come back, so I'm not about to fight with him. Daniel Bellinger is looking for a $23 million deal. He wants to leave. Okay. I think DJ James is a good depth piece for us, and I'm actually okay with that. Now, if he's willing to come back for maybe a little bit of a cheaper deal, I'm hoping for that. Let's see if that works out there. And it does. So we got him for a little bit less than what he asked for, and we got a good depth piece in that spot. Jeremy Ruckert, though, he's asking for about $6 million a year. For a tight end 3, I think Ruckert plays just fine, but we don't now he has the opportunity to be a tight end 2. Do we spend a little bit more money on that and allow Jeremy Ruckert to be that dog, or do we think about other tight ends in the draft, because there are some? I think when it comes to that, though, you have to think about trying to keep some of these pieces together where you can, because need some type of continuity. I'm willing to give him about $100,000 more in the salary to get him to $5.5 million per year for 3 years. I don't think that's a bad deal, but you never know with this guy. And he decides to sign, so I'm pretty happy about that. So now we got 2 tight ends I'm really happy about. Siaki Ika does not want to sign with us. Jeremy James, I'm actually not upset with this deal. I think if he's willing to come back for about $2 million a year, no, he's not. He says he wants the guaranteed money, so we wish him the best of luck. You look at someone like Dane Belton, he doesn't want to come back. There's no mentor at the position. That ain't him. I think for us, it might be a better idea for us to bring in a new mentor. So Seth McLaughlin, he really wants to come back. He's young. I'm cool with this, maybe a $2 million a year. Maybe bring him back for a 2-year deal for $2 million. I think that's fair, and I'm happy he came back there. So we got $29 million in cap space still. Jermaine Illuminor, This is the part that makes me sad here. We just won it, but because we do not fit his scheme, he wants to go somewhere else. I don't know. I think we are the Super Bowl favorites. I think that has some decent impact there. I'm willing to give him like $1 million more. I think that's a fair move there. I'm willing to give him $1.5 million more. $5 million guaranteed. I think this will help us out and create some continuity there. And he stayed. So I like that. So we got to keep a lot of our guys here. Odell Beckham Jr. would like to come back. No, thank you. Austin Schloutman. I think with McLaughlin that we just brought in, we got to be able to move on from there. So these guys are going to be heading to the free agency, but we signed some guys, which I'm pretty happy about there. You know, when you look at what we've done, we've been able to keep some pieces here that I think can help us, like I said, reload. So Jermaine Illuminor has extended here for a 2-year deal for $19 million. It can seem like a lot, but it's honestly not that much for a right tackle / right guard. Seth McLaughlin, he was a UDFA. We brought him in. He's going to be backing up JMS. Jeremy Ruckert signed like a little bit over $5 million a year, which is not bad at all. DJ James, good depth piece there. Jimmy Horn, a little over $5 million, but like I said, a UDFA, he gets a little bit of money, and he deserves what he gets there. As you can see, we've re-signed some players along the way. Logan Hall, Micah McFadden, Wandale Robinson. So I'm glad we got Logan Hall. We have Joseph Asai, so the D-line I think is in a good spot, but I'd love to bring in another veteran there. So we've spread the money out a little bit, and I believe that's not bad. You know, we got about $20 million in cap space. It's okay. We have 7 players that are leaving, so that'll get us down to 59 players, and I'm all right with that. I want to spread this $20 million out. Maybe we look at restructuring some contracts, but I didn't want to get too crazy with the free agency because I think we got some good guys. So we got $21.5 million. So we have 58 players left here. Let me check something out though real quick. So I went back to the roster, and you just got to turn the reorder on, and I'm just going to do that initially and then we'll fix it. So when you go back, there's some practice squad players that are kind of filling in some spots here, which I'm cool with. Cameron Latu is actually a guy who was drafted in like the 3rd round by the Niners and then got cut. I'm a fan of Latu. So if we can't draft one or bring one in the free agency, I'm cool with him being the tight end 3. The Rashid Shaheed combination of Malik Neighbors is going to be fun this year with Torrey Horton. So, and I think we're going to have some really good weapons here. Everything else I think is in a good spot. You know, they got Andrew Phillips above him, but Stokes, but Phillips is a slot guy, and he's playing ridiculous there. To have this kind of defense here now, everything just kind of came together in a way that lets me know these guys are going to be really nasty for us. We just got to get these other pieces together, and maybe we'll see Nick Jackson in the preseason kind of tear it up. Who knows? It'll be fun to kind of work through it. Pinnock is with us for another year, so that's good to see. And like I said, I'm really wondering what we're going to do with Devin Singletary. He's getting to that age, but he's done well for us in the series, and maybe we do trade him and try to make a move here, but I just don't know who would want him. If we were to put if we were to make a trade, let's just see what would happen, right? If we were to go Devin Singletary and we were to seek an offer, who would want him? And it looks like Amarius Mims from the Bengals, which that's stupid. No one would do that. Javonte Williams, stupid. No one would do that. Jacoby Covington, stupid. Jamin Davis within the division, nope. Deontay Johnson, nope. Kyle Duggar, that's stupid. Nate Hobbs, again, a stupid move. Steve Avila, Rams wouldn't give up a legit center. This one is actually within my realm of possibility here. It's not so much the draft picks, but I think if you did a Ryan Ramczyk, Devin Singletary 1-for-1 trade, I don't think that would be a bad move for us. So that one's very interesting there. We could bring in another right guard, but I think you move a Luminor there, you're going to be just fine. This one's also not a bad move, but I don't think they would give up on that. I think this one's realistic because Ryan Ramczyk's a little older. I don't think Ryan Ramczyk is, I think he might be on his last year of his contract there. We get a veteran, I think could really work out for us, right? So you look at this player here. He's 78 years old. Oh, excuse me, he's 84 while he's 32 years old. And you know, when you look at where his contract is, yeah, he's got 1 year left on his contract. So they got a guy in Jonah Saviania that probably wants to play. So that could be the move for us this offseason. I'm going to think about that one. That's actually really good. And it's realistic because the Saints, when you look at their salary there, they got a lot of movement they have to do to kind of get things even. And the Ryan Ramczyk contract could work out for them. $94 million in cap space now. So they technically don't need to do that, but I think getting some expensive contracts off their board makes sense for them. So this season did start right at the beginning of the year of the 2024 season. So that's why certain players are still on certain teams like Marshawn Lattimore. So, you know, we got 21 million. We're going to look at some of the guys here and kind of see where we stand. There's a lot of good players out there, players that want to move on, and some players that really want to play for us. Kenny Pickett, Sam Howell. So when you look at these right here, we got guys that want to be on the roster. So knowing that, I don't really want to rush that piece there. There's a lot of teams that want to play for us in the running back crew. If I trade Devin Singletary, I'm not going to bring in another guy like that. I think if I do bring in a running back, it's more likely going to be in the draft, or it's going to be someone on the very bottom of this piece here that may get some playing time, but not much. You got players in the wide receiver group that would like to play for the New York Football Giants now. Tylan Wallace from the Ravens. You're looking at a Noah Brown, a good veteran there. I want to bring in some guys that could have some mentor possibilities here. So you got someone like Demarcus Robinson, who I can consider bringing in right now. Jameson Williams would love to play for us. We just got too much going on. Rashid Shaheed is here, and there's no reason to throw that out. Romeo Doubs would be fun, but again, that's a piece that I just don't feel like we need here at this time. So I don't want to upset the apple cart. I just want to bring in some veterans, and I think Demarcus Robinson's probably the guy there. Michael Thomas, no thank you. I wish Matt Collins was considered a mentor. That would be kind of nice there. So I think Demarcus Robinson's probably the guy we're going to bring in. From a tight end group, you know, you got a lot of people that want to play for us. Jelani Woods would be super fun to have. Jeremy Ruckert would be battling there. I think Peyton Hendershot from the Cowboys is not a bad move, but the Jelani Woods one, he's never really had an opportunity to step up. So I think that could be a good move there. Bringing in Noah Gray would be fun. Coming over from the Chiefs. You got O.J. Howard, who's still running around in the NFL, huh? So I think if I'm going to look at a tight end, Jelani Woods would be really fun there. There are some guys that want to play for us. Rashid Walker was on my list there. Alaric Jackson would like to come over and play for the Giants. I don't think there's anything wrong with a mentor like Charles Leno, but Rashid Shaheed would be super fun to have. It's just I don't need him at left guard. Man, this is incredible. To see people wanting to come to the Giants now, that's so fun. I'm thinking about a left guard in the draft right now, so I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger there. I think when it comes to centers, I want to bring in somebody that's going to continue to mentor that piece. And I think Austin Ritter, could be that guy. We bring him in, allow him to mentor that group and kind of work through it. Right guard was an opportunity, but I think if we move a Luminor inside, we're going to be just fine. The right tackle spot, there are teams that want us, players that want us. Caleb McGarry is the one that is quite intriguing. here. Thayer Munford would be a fun one there. You got Taylor Moton, a good veteran at right tackle. I think that could really solidify that group there. Austin Wiley, another good veteran that can help us out there, and we don't got to spend a whole lot of money. So I'm really thinking about this here, and maybe it'll work out. Left ends, there was only one left end that I wanted, and I don't know if he wants to play for us. It does not look like. Let's see here. He was a 75 overall. He kind of wants to play for us. $10 million. That's a little higher than I would like there. The defensive tackle spot, there wasn't anybody there, but let's see who wants to play for us. I wouldn't be upset with bringing in some of these guys for a cheap deal if they're willing to take a discount to win a championship. I think like a Sheldon Rankins wouldn't be a bad deal. Yeah, these guys would be fine. Right ends, Daniil Hunter is on my list. He's just an orange, so I don't know if I want to do that. I think maybe we just kind of bring in some depth there, be it for competition. Left outside linebacker, there was a couple here. Nick Bonito is on my list. I'd like to bring him in for a deal that makes a whole lot of sense now. Just more depth there. You combine them with no Nolan Smith now. We need some other guys to kind of jump in for Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau when needed. And I think it'd work out. Lorenzo Carter coming back to the Giants would be fun to just kind of see him in there. Middle linebacker, there's some good ones, but none of them compared to the guys that I have there. If I bring in somebody, it's going to be in the preseason UDFA. The guy I really wanted on this team, though, because there's a chance we can shape this team into something different. We can move Kayvon Thibodeau down to the left end spot and then allow Quincy Williams to kind of go ham. That is the one guy I really would like to have here. Or move Khalil Mack down to an end spot, and that'll allow us to rotate some of these guys in these 4-3 positions. So Khalil Mack will be moving and shuffling at certain spots, and maybe just have him just do the rush package. Let him be that guy. Let him go attack. And then when we go to the other positions, you know, we kind of move on. But Khalil Mack is the guy I would like to have on this team. He's the guy, honestly, he was the same draft class as Odell Beckham Jr. I was so pissed because I thought Khalil was going to have a chance to fall to us. He did not, and then, you know, he ended up going where he went. But it was tough. I really wanted him to be on this team. There's a lot of corners that would like to play for the New York Football Giants. This is also nice to see here. I may look at some depth down this road. There's some free safeties. We do have Pinnock still, so that's good. But maybe we look at bringing in some guys like maybe some more depth piece. DeMar Hamlin would not be a bad guy to have on this team, knowing that he could just, you know, play that free safety 3 or strong safety when need be. So not too bad here, you know. F.I.A.2 Melifonwu coming over from the Lions. I think that would be that wouldn't be a bad move for us to bring him in here and have him play in replacement of Dane Belton. So we got some good things there. And then kickers want to come over here too, which is kind of insane. But I think for us, you know, Mevis is fine. If I do bring in a kicker, it's going to be in the draft. So that's where we have it, folks. That's the free agency market. We're going to go ahead and jump into it, and then we'll show you which free agents we got at the end of this. So to make some more room here for this team, we decided to restructure some contracts. We generated about $2.91 million in additional cap space by restructuring Andrew Thomas's contract. And then we restructured Dexter Lawrence's contract to give us $9.39 million. So having about $13 million in cap space now gives us an opportunity, a little less than 13, to maybe make some decisions on a potential move. So as we get through the free agency, it looks like a couple players have decided to retire, or one player has decided to retire here. during the stage 2, and that is Keenan Allen. He has decided to hang it up. He is done, which is tough because they bring in Keenan Allen, he retires, and then Jameson Williams leaves like that. That is rough for them. But Keenan Allen had a great career, and we wish them the best of luck. All right, folks. So as we enter the later stages of the free agency, I decided to make a move here. We did some things in the free agency that we'll talk about at the conclusion, but I think bringing in a veteran like Ryan Ramczyk can help solidify this O-line. The guy is going to move up in a positive way. 85 run block, 82 pass block, 83 block finesse, 87 pass block power. Like, all this works out. Now the issue is, this is the gamble, folks. His injury is a 77. So when we deal with things like that, we have to know, can we rely on Ryan Ramczyk? I think we can. And the combination of him and Illuminor playing there along with Reduce moving around maybe in left guard and right guard. Maybe we try to shuffle him around along with some additional players on our team. I think this could be a really nice piece for us. Ryan Ramczyk, to me, is one of those players that I think can really show up for us. If he ends up not being the greatest of experiments, then you cut him. You take the $26 million that he is owed and you move on. And you keep that dead cap there, because I think for him, he's only got like $3 million or something like that. So this will help us out. It is a good decision in my opinion. Devin Singletary to me is a very good player, but we brought in Charbonnet to be that 1-2 punch with Tracy, and I think that is a good thing for him. Devin Singletary gets to leave with the ring. Nothing wrong with that. And I think it makes sense for them, right? I don't know what they have here. Oh, they do have Tyler Algier, so that would be the 1-2 punch there. My goodness, they will have Tyler Algier and Devin Singletary along with Kendre Miller, who's only got 1 year left. They got a younger guy there in Kyle Monangai, so he's not really that guy. And they got Frank Gore Jr., so I think this is a good move for us. They get to continue to improve that that halfback group, and I think that's a good decision down the road there. Like I said, I really believe in the Charbonnet-Tracy combination, and I think this is going to help us out. So bringing in a guy like Ramczyk, I'm hoping this is the gamble that works out for us. So for the free agency recap, as you can see, we have 67 players now on the roster with $1.7 million in available cap space here. I think this is going to be really fun for us. And I think we got a good group of pieces here, and we're going to recap it right now. So we upgraded in a couple different spots. My focus was the offense, trying to get them some things going there. Dylan Parham, we brought him in. Nothing too crazy here. He's 27 years old. I think with what we have in this gentleman is a good depth piece / starter if need be. Dylan Parham coming over from the Raiders, I think is a player that can work out for us. It's just about being able to kind of shuffle him around. Maybe he'll play left guard, play right guard and left guard in there. I was really excited about this guy. So Dylan Parham came over, for $7 million for 2 years. 3-year deal here for about $16.5 million of Jelani Woods. This guy never was activated. His potential was never activated truly in Indianapolis. He's 6'7", 253 pounds. You got him now with Theo Johnson on our team. I think this is going to be a fun combo. Jeremy Ruckert, there's going to be a battle for that tight end 2 position there. If I had to Melifonwu, for me, it was more about depth there in the free safety role. Jason Pinnock and Melifonwu were about the same age, but I like how Melifonwu plays there in Detroit, and I think he can leverage that speed and be a good backup there for Tyler Nubin. So it's going to be a fun one in that space. Salvon Ahmed, I just needed a depth piece in the running back position with no more Devin Singletary after that trade. I say, why not bring in a guy who's got some speed on him? may have the ability to kind of play that third down back if something were to happen to Tyrone Tracy, and we kind of let it roll in that space. Ronald Darby, mentor. The guy plays mostly slot for us, is the goal there, but I think him having the ability to grow those young corners is going to be his responsibility on this team, and if he needs to step up and play, I think he'll do just fine. Demarcus Robinson also playing the mentor role. The guy isn't the craziest of speed guy, but he's reliable in the slot for us. Guy runs great routes, dependable to catch the ball, so I'd say why not have someone like Demarcus Robinson on this team here. Depth piece with Elijah Hicks there in the free safety role. Just like Melifonwu, we're going to just continue to have that DB group just stay dependable and be available. Brought in the mentor there for JMS and McLaughlin. My hope is that they continue to grow and maybe JMS ends up being that guy that we can have at center. And I wanted to get some older guys there. And there it is, Jacoby Brissett. We brought him in. So Ryder was about 1.8 million. Hicks was about 4.5 for 3 years, so very cheap in my opinion in that space. Demarcus Robinson was $3 million for a year. We were able to get these guys in for not too crazy. Jacoby Brissett, $2.5 million for 1 year. I think that makes sense there. Got Hendon Hooker on the team. We do have Shedeur Sanders. It's just nice to have another mentor in that area though, so I'm really pumped about that. I think we got some good guys here along the way, and then with the Ryan Ramczyk trade, our O-line is going to look quite ridiculous heading into this draft. Let's check out who is signed across the league. So from a quarterback position here, Kenny Pickett is heading to back up Michael Penix in Atlanta. He took a 4-year deal for about a $66 million. I think that's a good spot for him, being in a backup. That team down there is very versatile, so Kenny Pickett might have an opportunity there. Derrick Henry going to the Raiders. He takes a $15.56 million deal for 2 years. Guy still got a lot in the tank. He's not as fast, but the dude's a thumper. Dameon Pierce heading to Cincy. Maybe he gets a shot there with Chase Brown. Tyler Algier going to the Saints. You got Elijah Mitchell going to the Bengals, and then Rasheem Blackshear to the Commanders. Wide receivers, Terry McLaurin. Don't know what the heck's going on there in Pittsburgh, but they're going to say Kenny, George Pickens and Terry McLaurin are the dogs there. That is crazy to me. We'll see how he ends up working out down there, but maybe the Steelers really work through it. 3-year deal for about $39 million. That's cheap. Tyler Lockett's going to the Commanders. Very reliable player there. He's a mentor. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. About $21 million for him for 2 years. Romeo Doubs to the Seahawks. Jameson Williams is a Packer. I think that's a crazy move there, working within the division. He wants to rock the green and gold. He's going to be going against his team now for at least the next 3 years. Christian Watson to the Cincinnati Bengals. Rondale Moore to the Chargers. That is a Charger move right there. Mecole Hardman to the Titans. Alec Pierce to the Titans. John Mechie to the Packers. So the Packers bringing in some guys there. That's kind of interesting. The big move is Mark Andrews is going to Indianapolis to help out Anthony Richardson. He took a 4-year deal at 30 years old for $67 million, or $66 million. That is insane right there. That's going to be nasty. David Njoku, they need a tight end over there, and he's younger, when you could say younger. He's 30 years old, and I think he could do work there. Gerald Everett going to the Titans. Higbee to the Commanders. Cade Otton going to the Saints there, and likely to the Rams. Bellinger, who we could not re-sign, he heads to the Saints. Schoonmaker to the Bucks. That is not bad there. You're looking at Rasheed Walker to the Commanders, so that's a very good player there at left tackle. Thuney to the Jags. Suamalo back to the Steelers. David Edwards to the Seahawks. You got Ted Karras to the Cards. Mitch Morse to the Cards. Cam Jurgens is heading to Denver. The right guard position, Pipkins to the Raiders. Muti to the Chargers. Salier to the Raiders. The right tackle Taylor Moton heading to Arizona. Penning to the Eagles. Steele to the Jets. Mumford back to the Raiders. Jonah Williams to the Texans there. Zadarius Smith is a Steeler. That's a Steeler move. Zach Sealer is a Panther. Zach Allen to the Commanders, so I got to deal with that guy now. Cameron Thomas to the Commanders. Michael Pierce to the Rams. DJ Reader to the Panthers. BJ Hill to the Saints. Arik Armstead to the Saints. Devontae White to the Seahawks. Danielle Hunter is a Steeler. Grady Jarrett is a Bear. Wow, some of these teams are getting nasty. Clowney to the Saints. Landry to the Cardinals. Bonito to the Packers. That was a guy I wanted. He just didn't want to come to our team. Lorenzo Carter to the Panthers. Patrick Jones to the Bears. Devin Lloyd, good player there. Did not re-sign with the Jaguars. He's heading to Atlanta. CJ Mosley to the Steelers. Oh my gosh, Steelers are going to be nasty. Ivan Pace, that's a little underrated pickup right there. Heading to the Titans. Caden Ellis, I like him. He's going to the Seahawks. Kenneth Murray to the Cards. Quincy Williams to the Chargers. Odafe Owe leaves the AFC North and heads to the AFC South. He's going to be playing for the Tennessee Titans. That's like a $41 million deal. That's not bad for him. Van Ginkel to the Raiders. Sion Takitaki to the Broncos. And David Ojabo, he takes his money. $22 million. Little less than 22.5, and he goes to Carolina. Nolan Smith going to the Seahawks. That's a good move for them. Kendall Fuller to the Cincinnati Bengals. Jonathan Jones to the Jags. Benford to the Eagles. Kyler Gordon to the Bucks. Jalen Watson, that's an underrated pickup right there, coming from the Chiefs, heading to Jacksonville. Kyer Elam to the Broncos, so it looks like that's what happened right there. They got the mentor. I was looking at Kyer Elam, but he wanted a mentor, so a Broncos snagged up Hilton and then brought in Elam right after. That's a good move for them. Free safety, Javon Holland. Oh, gosh, dude. I wanted this guy on my team. He just was going to cost me a ton. He takes a huge deal, folks. You're talking about $79 million for the next 4 years playing in Washington. So I got to deal with that SOB. Tyrann Mathieu to the Eagles. That's a good move there. Good veteran. Kirby Joseph leaving Detroit and going to Chicago, trying to get that money. That's a good move there. Jimmy Ward to the Titans. Savage to the Panthers. Not bad there. So looks like some punters. Jake Bailey to Dallas. Recco to Kansas City. And Zetner to the Cow. What are we doing? We got two punters. What the heck? So not a bad move there. So before we head into the draft, this is what the team looks like right now. The O-line, I think, looks pretty strong. We got enough guys now on the depth of this O-line where I feel a little bit better. And hopefully they can kind of stay intact here. But getting a good veteran on the other side there to complete that bookend is going to be nice. And I think Illuminor is a dog. And I think he's going to play great where we're at. You got Theo Johnson and Jelani Woods now. That's going to be a battle there with between him and Ruckert in the preseason. You look at Malik Neighbors leading the helm there. And like I said, there's a chance we may trade Jalen Hyatt in the draft to give him an opportunity somewhere. I just got to figure out where that's going to be. I have Tanks Bigsby on this team. I forgot he was in the preseason free agency. He was on the practice squad, and I think there's a chance right there where we might see a little bit more of him, and he's not going to cost us that much. I think the group right there in the quarterback room is going to be really nice now with Jacoby Brissett there. You look at this DB group, my goodness, man, it looks freaking sick. Stokes is going to be CB 1 and 2 there with Banks. And we got, like I said, we got a good group of players here. Chapman, I need to figure out the DT spot because we got some good defensive ends that can help us out for depth. We didn't spend much money there, but I think the goal here is with Chapman and Logan there, along with Dexter Lawrence and Joseph Asai. I could see myself drafting more on the D line to keep that going there. The linebacking group is just fine, but nothing wrong with looking at some linebackers in the interior there. I think Dorian Williams plays outside linebacker too. So that was another guy in our practice squad that we ended up grabbing with no issue in that space. So that's a good thing there. And like I said, man, this is where I hope to be. I think we got the right crew set up to succeed. We just got to see how they're all going to play together heading into the draft. So we are about to head into the draft, folks. I think, like I said, we got some players here that I am hoping can really step up. We got about a little close to 60 players on our draft board here. And there's a mix of guys, and I kind of just want to show the talent that we have. We've been searching, and we found some dogs. We got 2 top 5 picks here that we could potentially look at. One at center and one at left guard. You're talking about Dre Wheeler right here, folks. Dre Wheeler looks ridiculous. He is got A awareness, A impact block, B pass block, run block, AB, 6'2", 341. This is the kind of guy that I would like to have on this team to just develop under Runyon. And when it's time to move on, you put him in and you let him roll out there and do what he needs to do. But you don't throw him out there from the get. So I'm really excited to see what he can do here. You're looking at other guys like Mateo Ungalele, who's got the speed to be something nasty here. He's projected to be in the first and second round, so if I do draft him, it will be in that second round there. Guy's decent, good speed, okay change of direction, but this is a guy that we could leverage to maybe do some work for us in that space there. I am excited for a wide receiver, another one. This guy's projected to be in the first round. B release, 6'4", 230 pounds. We got Torrey Horton, but I think this guy's a little different here. And with how Lowry plays, everything just screams like, dude, we just could have another ridiculous receiver on this roster and kind of play it out and maybe start running a lot more spreads as we move forward. I'm looking at tight ends to kind of round this out, right? You got Jeremy Ruckert. We paid him. But, dude, how sweet would that be to just rock with 4 freaking wide tight ends? Shorten out the wide receivers, keep the guys that they are, and rock with somebody like Marco Starks. He's got the talent to be drafted in the first and second round. And coming out of Louisville, this is the kind of thing, man. Just have versatile players on the roster. We let them work out, we let them play it out, and I think that could be a good move for us there. You're looking at other cats here like Alex Burkmeyer, who is in the first round, and he's projected to be a first rounder. All the stats scream like this guy can be amazing. He's got issues with injuries, so I don't know if I'm going to pick up a guy like that at this point in time here. We got some really good pieces here that I think could be really fun. Joey Tatum here. He's projected to be in the second and third round. I liked him because of his pass coverage ability. He's not the fastest guy, but the way I look at it is his awareness is there, his pursuit is there. He has good, decent man and zone coverage. He could be that guy that could be out there for those pass plays when need be, and then in the meantime, he'll just be that guy who plays special teams. Why the heck not? That's how a lot of guys work out. I was looking at a right tackle, right? We have Ryan Ramczyk, we have Dermina Luminor, but there's nothing wrong with continuing to beef up the O-line. And with Raheem Murrell projected to be a round 1 talent, you're talking about A awareness, impact block, injury, pass block. He's got all the attributes to be something really, really good for us. And you always want to continue to draft O-linemen to keep reloading that group, because when you don't, that's when you end up with huge gaps of really bad issues of not being able to play that you're supposed to. So I'm hoping we can kind of work it out, but there is a lot of sneaky picks here in the third round. All of them have the ability to really show up and show out. Jonathan Moreau out of Notre Dame, he's projected to be in the first and second round there. I say if we take him in the third or fourth, that would be a steal. Brian DeMarco, A little bit of a bigger guy here, but he's got the power move and impact block and block shed that was intriguing. 6'5", 251. Again, another guy that we could throw in there, have a decent rotation on the linebacker spot, and not be scared of what would happen if some of our guys got injured on the linebacker position there. We continue to look for pieces like that, and I think we got some good ones here. There's a sneaky guy here at center that's considered a day 3 guy, Brandon Spencer. I don't think there's anything wrong with looking at that. You got another guy who's considered undrafted, and Braden Witt. Take him here at the later rounds. The guy got okay speed, he's an athlete. So again, you're talking about a guy that be out here and could step up in the special teams when need be, because I need to make sure we got more linebackers in the special teams to help us out there. Having DBs playing special teams isn't necessarily the winning formula. You want some good, versatile, athletic linebackers to be out there. And look at this, folks. Philip Oakman, 6'2", 244, a day 3 projection. We've been scouting the linebackers, and look who's here. He's a round 1-2 talent. So in the 5th round, you bet your ass I'm probably going to look at grabbing Philip Oakman. We'll see if he's going to be out there, but my goodness, how sweet would that be to have a player like him just chilling there, man. That's a huge freaking diamond in the rough right there. These are the kind of things that you hope to find and accomplish. You got a chance to really shake it up, and I'm hoping for the best here. I think we got all the pieces that we've been honing in on. They're saying, team needs right now. They're saying quarterback and halfback and wide receiver. Like, those aren't true needs. I'd say the needs that we have are honestly not bad at all. When you look at the mocks, right, you got the Vikings going after a defensive lineman because they have the quarterback. Broncos continuing to beef up their O-line. You got the Cardinals going after a linebacker. The Bears let go of Gordon, so they're bringing up another corner. Mateo Ugalele is really good. Looks like he's got a chance to get drafted early in this one. Zachariah Branch going to the Saints would be a nice move there. But this is just the mock. Who knows what happens because of the moves that were made in the free agency. Anything can happen. But I am looking forward to this, folks. Let's get to it, and let's start this draft. So the draft is up here, and let's see what happens. The Vikings are up. They were projected to get a defensive lineman, and I think that's a good move for them. It looks like the Vikings are up, and they will indeed snag up their defensive end. I think that's a good move for them. He gets a chance to maybe be the one guy. They actually got a good group though. Bullard is over there. Grenard, is over there right now. They actually got a good young D-line, but there's nothing wrong with having more. So Ruben Bain heading to Minnesota there. The Broncos are up now, and they continue to work with the board and stay chalk, or continue to chalk it right now as they now go after a left tackle. He's a big guy. He's a very, very big player. The Broncos have to protect their quarterback in Nix. So I think that's a good move. Them right there. Great play. Everything's kind of working out the way it should so far. Cardinals take, it looks like a linebacker, I think. Cardinals, right, have Kyler Murray, and I'm not sure how that team's going to work out there. We'll see if they can continue to make it possible, but that, again, not a bad move for the Cardinals as they get to hopefully they found a blue chip there in the outside linebacker in Sunturine Perkins. The Bears are up early in the draft. You hope the Bears, as a Chicago franchise, right, you hope to not be down there top picks over and over again every year, but I think that has a lot to do with coaching. And until they truly find the right coach there, you're not going to really be able to tap the potential that you have in Caleb. You had such a good group of weapons there. They just couldn't make it work. Bringing a corner there. And the Patriots are up right now, and they're going to take, looks like last name Downs there. It's Caleb Downs. Yeah, Falcons are up, and they take Ungalele there. I don't think that's a bad move there for them. Saints are up. They take Zachariah Branch, so it's pretty much, working in the best interest right now. It's just chalked right now. Damari Ricks to the Raiders. That's a corner, so the corners are showing up early in this draft. Seahawks take Arnell Tate, a wide receiver. Okay. Dolphins are up. They take a defensive tackle in TJ Parker. They're looking at Trey Babaleta, right tackle. They let... Ooh, wow, look at that. Great pickup right there for the Panthers. All stats scream amazing. Steelers take TJX, right end. Again, another good piece right there. Great job for them. The Commanders are up. Picking 13, they take wide receiver Eugene Wilson. They do not have Terry McLaurin anymore. We'll see how that works out. Tight end Luke Haas. No more Kelsey. No more Noah Gray. They got to restock that tight end room there. Titans take Anthony Hill Jr., right outside linebacker. The Jets take Alex Burkmeyer, left guard. The Lions take Jonte Cook, wide receiver, to replace Jamison Williams, and the retired now Keenan Allen. You're talking Jacksonville taking Jordan Hall, a middle linebacker, to replace Devin Lloyd. The Buccaneers take tight end Lawson Lucky to replace Cade Naughton, who's no longer there, went to New Orleans. Peyton Bowen, strong safety, to the Browns. The Rams take Troy Preston, wide receiver. Texans are going to take Francis Muigoa, left tackle there. Maybe that's the heir apparent for Houston Texans. Who knows? That might be the move there for them. Kevin Concepcion, wide receiver, to Cincinnati there. I don't think it's not a bad move there. You got Raheem Murrell, right tackle for the Green Bay Packers now. I think, the stats are screaming like great possibilities there. CJ Baxter to the freaking Cowboys. You're looking at the Chargers going right guard Derek Adams. That's a good move for them. The Eagles are up, and they're going to take Kevin Sewell, center, as Cam Jurgens is now with Denver. The Colts take Dre Wheeler, left guard there. Maybe that's Quentin Nelson's replacement, heir apparent. Lamar Russell to the San Francisco 49ers. You got Sterling Powell, right end, heading to Buffalo. And then the Ravens take Philip Leary, folks. So we are up, and we have some things to think about here. So I want to make sure we got the guys that I would really like, right? So you still got Nico Maivea in Tennessee and Dante Moore from Oregon. No one wants quarterbacks right now, and I think that's fine for them. It's not for me. I think the way I look at it, right, is we have some pieces here that could be really, really good. Oh, they took all my top 5 guys. They snagged them all. What? That's insane. They took the guys that were like hidden talents. Wow. The CPU is disgusting. So, I was looking at the right tackle. It looks like that's not there. And when I look at the talents that we have here, Got a round one guy in Lowry who could be really fun. It could up our wide receiver room, continue to grow it in a way that I wouldn't be upset about there. We could take a right guard now. That's projected to be later. Golly, dude, that is insane. Is that real? Did that really happen? No way, right? We're to see the talents. Is that true? Yeah. Oh my gosh. These guys sniped players that I had in the UDFA room. I had guys in the UDFA room that were so... That is crazy what y'all just did to me. Okay. All right. So if I'm going to just take true talent here, we have the ability to pick wherever, right? Best player available. We don't got to sweat it. We just pick best player available. Oh, no, okay. So open is still there. Not bad. We still got round one, round two guys. Tatum there. I think you want to take the best player out there, right? You're looking at Charlie Lowry. He's got to work on his concentration drops, but he's not going to step up in the beginning. I think I want to let him develop behind us and kind of work through it. With this pick, you know, Jalen Hyatt's probably going to be on the move now. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. This guy's strong. He's decent 4.5 speed at 6'4", 230. I think this is the move for us. Welcome to the team. Mr. Lowry out of Louisville. 6'4", 230-pound wide receiver. We're pick number 32. Right? Our team is pretty built to the point where I feel good about it. And I think grabbing a guy like Lowry is only going to make our team better. Hopefully he continues to, he ends up being that dog for us. But it says B. He was ranked 13 in true value, and we drafted him at 32. Reliable hands, tracks and secures the ball, catches with will regularly make top 10 highlights. So super happy about that. Glad we got it done there. And we head on to the next thing. I think what I'm going to show real quick before we continue the second round, I think I'm going to make the move and trade Jalen Hyatt. One moment. So we're going to go ahead and send Jalen Hyatt to Green Bay. And we're going to ask for like a future 6th round pick. This gives us a little bit room in the cap. The way I look at it is it rounds out this team of wide receivers quite well. Dontavian Wicks is there with Jaden Reed. And now they got John Mechie there with Jameson Williams. So Hyatt will have a chance to fight with Wicks and Mechie to be a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. I think that helps out both parties. And maybe Hyatt steps up and does well for them in Green Bay. So now we continue the draft here. Let's see what happens in this space. Who makes it work? What do the Vikings do in the second round? They go Ray John Faulkner, left tackle. We're going to see the Broncos in Will Dansby. You got the Cardinals taking Kevin Harrison, and then we're going to do one more pick before we skip to us, because I don't see myself trading up. We're going to go ahead and see the Bears take Steven Wilkinson, right end. So let's get to our pick. Let's see what happens. I always like seeing surprises occur. Let's see what we have available now, right? We're in the second round. Do we got guys that are still on our board? And it looks like we do. There's some really good players here. You're talking about Tatum, who's the pick, but we could have an opportunity to just continue to grab some guys that have amazing talent, right? And I am not upset about doing this here. I think if you go for a guy like Marco Starks out of Louisville, he's going to be partnered up with his teammate there that we drafted in the first round in Lowry, 6'5", 267 pounds. He's got some issues with drops potentially, but he's got 8 catching, so I don't know what that means. Body control, no issues climbing the ladder, excels at creating yards after the catch, good discipline, won't get flagged much. He's not a strong guy, so he's more of getting out there, so maybe I can move him in the slot a little bit. 4.59, yeah, that might be a big slot receiver kind of deal to kind of get these weapons out there. But I think this is a guy that could work out. Maybe have him play a tight end 3, so maybe move him to the fullback position from time to time. He let go of Lewecki, who knows? But I think this is a good move for us. Continue to grow the offensive side. I really think we need to push the defensive yet. I think this is a good move for us. True value, 40. Drafted him at 64. Secure hands with defenders in vicinity. Good speed for a tight end. Didn't drop a pass at the combine. So I'm really happy about that move there. We're going to skip here, see where we stand in the 3rd round. Decent amount of players that are out there. I don't know if the guy I want is there still. So we're going to hope that he is here in the 3rd round. Let's see what we got. So the linebacker I wanted is no longer there. And in the 3rd round, you still got players here that aren't bad. Guys that we didn't fully scout, but I am not upset with. You got a guy in Grant Grayson, guys. 6'5", 227 pounds. I would love to bring in a player like that, but I think when it comes down to it, we got to continue to grow this team in a way that makes sense here. It's a little bit of a... man, I think we're going to take a chance. I'm going to look at somebody like Randy Logan real quick. 6'1", 238. So I'm going to regret it if I don't take him early. You want to do that. You want to get your guys. 6'2", 244 out of Oregon. He's projected to be a 1-2 talent, and we're drafting him super early. He's an athlete. We're going to have him rocking the special teams for a little bit. But with B block shed and B impact block, that just tells me this guy can do some work for us. So welcome to the team, Philip Oakman. B-, he's ranked 32 in true value. We drafted him at 96. Like I said, this is the kind of guy that you can kind of work through, get him in the right spot, and I just want to bring in really good players. Oh no, I guess I auto-drafted. What the heck? I guess I auto-drafted. Oh no. Oh well. We'll see what happens here. I hope I drafted some guys that we really needed. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Did I press a button I shouldn't have pressed? Oh my. Oh, this is brutal. I did not expect that. Oh, come on. Oh, this is brutal. I hope I drafted the guys I needed, man. Golly, I didn't know. I think the game messed up. We went Josh Alexander at the end. Well, let's see what happened, right? Little surprise here. I thought we were drafting very well. So with the last pick in the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, he was a 3rd rounder, and he's a big guy. Not going to be that fast, but maybe he's a practice squad guy we kind of put around, and hopefully he succeeds. C+, 175 in true value. We draft him at 224. He's fast enough, so maybe he ends up being a tight end or something later on down the road there. So I don't know what happened. I guess there was a glitch there because I thought I pressed next user pick, but game freaked out. So we grabbed Philip Oakman. Oh, we didn't have a pick. We didn't have a 4th. Oh, okay. Oh, scared the heck out of me. So we grabbed guys that I think were in a good spot then. I thought the game glitched, but I guess this is all we had. We didn't have a 4th and a 5th rounder, 4th, 5th, or 6th. Maybe those were the picks that we traded away for the other guys in the season. Man, I didn't even realize it. But we do have a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round. We snagged up Lowry, who's a hidden dev, 6'4", 230 pounds, 90 speed, 87 acceleration. This is a guy here that I hope could be really nasty here. All I'm going to do on my end is show, maybe see if we can change his number. Maybe give him like an 11. Do that. Let's go to appearance. Oh, I don't need. What are we doing here? Apparel. So he's got. All right, cool little gear there. I'd say let's get him a sick visor. Get the visor right. Whip that, or there you go. There you go. So we'll get him a little visor there. What's his uni's kind of, yeah, that isn't bad, I guess. Say height. That's pretty good there. So pull it back real quick. So we got Charlie Lowry here out of UCF. It said he was from Louisville. What the heck? Oh, maybe he was UCF. I thought he was Louisville, but it is what it is there. You got Marco Starks here. I'm really pumped about. He's got hidden dev, 73 overall, good speed for a tight end. Catching's an 883 as well. He's got the leader trait too, which is nice. So the way I look at it is this guy's going to be, fighting for the tight end 2/tight end 3 spot. We then went after Philip Oakman, normal dev, but he's a 74 overall. This is the kind of guy here that I hope ends up fighting for some depth there behind Kayvon Thibodeau and Burns. We will see, how he can kind of work through it there. I don't want to. So I give him 54 there. But I think Oakman, we made sure to grab him. It's not bad. And then we snagged some other guys here. Nothing too crazy because I totally forgot. We didn't have that many players there. Excuse me. So we picked up Josh Alexander in the 7th round there. Decent speed. I think he's going to fight for a special team spot out of Mississippi State. And then you are looking at Grayson, who was projected to be a mid-round pick. He's a 67 overall. He's got decent speed and everything to be an okay player for us. He's got some issues with injuries there, as you can see, but he's not a bad player. Let him develop. We put him on the practice squad and kind of roll from there, but he's gonna make it on this team. Man, I didn't realize I have a pick there. That's kind of crazy. When you look at our draft class, I think it wasn't bad. Definitely want to look at first our division rivals, right? So let's check out the Commanders. What did they get? They snagged up Eugene Wilson III out of Florida there. This is a hidden dev guy, pretty good player out of Florida. So that's their new wide receiver 1. They snagged up a guy here in Juan Franklin, who's a 68 overall, but he's got the hidden dev with the 75 finesse. So they're continuing to find ways to kind of get that D-line looking different. They snagged up a guy here in Williams, a rookie out of Texas A&M. Really good setup there. I don't think you can go wrong in that space. They went for a George Richardson out of Auburn, so 71 overall. I think they drafted pretty well there. And then they snagged up a Michael Ford in the 6th round there. So they are trying to infuse a little bit more talent in the wide receiver crew, so that's a good move. For the Cowboys, they grabbed a wide receiver running back here in CJ Baxter out of Texas. I think the guy's got some burst, but the 86 speed is really weird. Why that is the case there, I don't know if that's supposed to be it. Went Brett Benson, 74 overall. 81 finesse, that's freaking good. And then you're looking at corner here in the 4th round. That's a 70 overall at Tennessee. So the Cowboys don't look too bad with their draft. I think they did okay. Later rounds are always rough, just like anyone else would have. But look at this. This might be the steal of the freaking of the draft. 82 overall center and Kevin Sewell. Wow. Holy hell, huh? Did some work there. Golly. And then they snagged up a right guard, hidden dev from Notre Dame. So the Eagles continue to draft amazingly on the O-line there. They didn't do so well anywhere else, but that was freaking legit. Now, as far as the best players in this year's draft, let's talk through it. Let's see what's out there. And it is, of course, Kevin Sewell, pick number 27. Zachariah Branch, though, not too far behind as an 80 overall at a USC. I think the Saints are going to have a very good group of wide receivers there. Singletary's now there, too, so the running back crew is pretty good. You can't complain with some of this. Ruben Bain, Trey Wheeler, Jordan Hall, and then Maivia went to the Lions, so maybe he's the heir apparent there. 6'5", 234 out of Tennessee. Can't complain about that, man. I think that's going to be a nice move for them when Goff is ready to go. They got another piece there that can really do some work. Not bad in space there. I think that's pretty good. I like how these drafts go. To be honest there, I can't always get all the best players, and you got to reach for some and you got to make it work. So good job right there overall. We are going to head to the preseason here. I don't think any of these guys have the ability to start. I don't think it makes sense yet. Because we have a good pieces of, and that's the way it should be. You shouldn't have rookies starting everywhere. I don't think we're gonna have to do that here, folks. I think we got all the right pieces where we need to. The wide receiver group there's more depth there. The D-line unfortunately didn't get as great as I was hoping, so I'm gonna have to work through that in the upcoming preseason. I don't know if I'm going to do much there. I think if anything, I may stream it on Twitch just to kind of say, hey, here's what we're doing. But I don't see myself trying to make a video preseason. Preseason's not that fun, so it'll be fun to maybe engage with everybody as we're doing it, but I don't see myself gonna do much. But we're gonna go and advance it here, folks. So this is where we will leave it, folks. We have 71 players on the roster. I don't know if I'm going to bring in anybody too crazy. They're willing to come in for some cap space, great, but I don't think we have any. I think we got like negative space. If we were to look at that real quick, as far as the top 100, right? I think, oh, we do got a little bit of space. So, you know, we'll look at bringing in some guys. I'd like to bring in someone like Khalil Mack and then move him into defensive line. That's the first thing I'd like to try out here for the preseason. I don't see myself trying to bring in any crazier players. I think defensive tackle definitely needs a look right now. I just don't know if we're going to be able to bring in some other dogs here. I think we're going to look at bringing in him, kind of help out with our space there, and the last spot is going to be this right end in Braden McGregor. I don't know, actually. Where's a rookie at? Watts. There it is. Roy James, 6'5". Actually, let's look at another DT. I want to kind of fill that DT group. Give him a chance. You got Rudolph, Antoine Polite. Let's bring him in. Let's check him out. Our Northwestern 6'3", So that should fill our roster up to 75 now. And this is where we leave it. Like I said, I may do some streams in the preseason on Twitch just to kind of get it out of the way and mix it up a little bit. But I don't see myself trying to do much. We'll do some training camp stuff, maybe stream as well to kind of see what that looks like. But I'm looking forward to the next season, folks. Let's see if these Giants can get it done. I think we got the right crew. Looking forward to the next draft class. That is JackMove619. Check out his draft class on PlayStation. He does some good job. And this is the year, folks, where we'll see Archie Manning out there. And you'll see Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams. They're going to be in this draft. So it's going to be fun. Where will they go? Who will be able to take those guys? So if you like what you saw, everybody, please drop a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and most importantly, subscribe to keep up with the series. I really appreciate everyone that stopped by today. Y'all have yourself a good one. And as always, let's go Big Blue.